Hello, fellow peasants. Today I'll be reviewing 1984's C.H.U.D. Alright guys, so I watched C.H.U.D. My dad told me about this. C.H.U.D. stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. That's right. It has another meaning later in the film, dealing with like hazardous material and stuff. This came out in 1984. It stars the dad from Home Alone. Even Marv from Home Alone is in here. And what is it about? Well, there's something dwelling under the streets of New York City. It's living in the sewers. It's taking people. And what is it? Well, it turns out that the government has been dumping hazardous toxic waste into the sewers of New York City, and it's turning the homeless people in the sewers to cannibal monsters. And they start eating each other, but once they start running out of other homeless people to eat, they have to start coming out of the manholes and eating people that live above ground. So, what do I like? What do I not like about C.H.U.D? What I like about C.H.U.D is the general premise. I like the storyline. I think it's interesting. You know, the movie starts out with this lady getting taken, her and her dog. You know, one of the C.H.U.Ds comes up from the manhole, grabs her and the dog. And it happens to be the main detective in the neighborhood's wife who got taken. So he's very invested in finding out why these other people have been disappearing lately in the last several weeks, because his wife was one of them. And there's a lot of red tape to get through because there's like political shit involved. Obviously, the government is dumping these things down into the sewers. There's a cover-up happening, and he's trying to get to the bottom of it, but it's hard to because there's so many. Like I said, there's red tape and government people involved. Marv's character, he's kind of like I think he was a criminal at one point, but now he's like a preacher who's helping homeless people. So he kind of knows what's going. He's tapped into like the homeless situation in New York at the time. So he's working with the cops. He's helping the cops figure out what's going on, you know, with these disappearances and connecting the dots. The dad from Home Alone is an artist. He's a photographer who has been working to photograph the homeless situation in New York. So, you know, you have this team of people that one's a cop, one's a preacher, one is a photographer, and they're all kind of working together and trying to figure this thing out together. And so I think it's a good story. Soundtrack wise, I don't usually speak on music on this channel in terms of soundtracks, and sorry, my car is running. It's cold as shit outside in Ohio, so my car is running, so please forgive that sound. Speaking of sound, but the soundtrack here is good. It's a good 80s synth sound. It's very reminiscent of like John Carpenter scores. The cinematography in this film is not horrible. It's decently done well. It really does feel like a Carpenter film. That's one of the things I liked about this film was it feels not exactly like a Carpenter film, but it's like 80% of the way there, you know? It's just missing some of that extra polish and extra action that I think a John Carpenter film would have had in it. But I liked it because it's very much a poor man's John Carpenter film, you know? And so I liked it for that. I think the acting in here, for the most part, is okay. It's not great by any means. It's decent. Another thing that I liked about C.H.U.D, it took itself more seriously than I thought it would. This is not super cheesy, not super cheap. It has a serious tone to it. They're playing it straight. I really think that I was expecting like really cheeseball, really corny stuff. But it's played seriously. And then if I were to, I also like the C.H.U.Ds. I like the C.H.U.Ds. I like the makeup effects on here. Their glowing eyes, their teeth coming through their mouths. and their claws, they're slimy looking. When the photographer's girlfriend chops off the Chud's head, it's like radioactive green inside, and that was really cool. So there's definitely some like good practical effects here as well. My only negative really with C.H.U.D is that there's not a whole lot of action. I wanted a little more like shooting them down in the sewer and them attacking like the cops or the, you know, I kind of wanted a little more like mano-a-mano fighting action with the Chuds, because it just feels like it's that kind of movie. But you don't see the Chuds hardly at all. There's not really any combat or shoot 'em up or chase scenes with Chuds really down in the sewers or even out in the streets. You like rarely see them, and I just don't think it's that style of film. Like it's not done well enough to be the type of film that's theater of the mind. It's not like Jaws is well done enough that you don't need to see the shark, because the dialogue and the story is so amazing. And you know, like this, you can forgive that you don't see the shark in Jaws because of everything else that's happening is so top tier. Is so grade A quality. You know, here they're going for the less is more, but there's not much else to chew on here in the rest of the film. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I just told you the storyline's good and things like that, but it's not so damn good that you don't want to see some bit of action and see the Chuds more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this was a more polished film and the story was just so enthralling that it's okay that less is more. It's just not, it doesn't pull off what it's going for with the less is more, is all I'm saying. Like other films can, that are more polished and well written and things like that. All in all, I liked it. It was a fun time. I saw there's a C.H.U.D 2. I probably won't review that. Just looking at some of the screenshots of it, it doesn't really look like it's similar. It kind of looks like it's like based off of like one guy being a C.H.U.D and going around and killing people or something. I don't know. I might have to like read more about it or something if I decide to watch C.H.U.D 2. But C.H.U.D 1 was a decent flick. I would probably give C.H.U.D 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. So it's free on Tubi. Go check it out. If you're a big fan of John Carpenter films, I don't think you're going to go wrong with this. And like I said, it's like 80% of the way there. It's just missing some of the shootout action. It's just missing some of the Dean Cundy cinematography you get with John Carpenter. It's missing some of that action, but it's mostly there. You got the John Carpenter score. You got it looks and feels like a John Carpenter film. So go check out C.H.U.D. And if you have checked out C.H.U.D, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. All right, peasants, have a good one. Peace out. Bye-bye.